All right. Let's get into today's deals, and there were a lot. Um, Start off early with an infomercial. I don't know if anyone saw the infomercial in the chat, but they had eyewitness proof of how it works, how well it works. Kyle loving that it's changed his life, turned it around after his wife divorced him for bad hockey, fantasy hockey. So the Dre system works apparently. Well, Dre got to work today. Um, First of all, moving Brat and a 16th over to Neil with in exchange for Nishkushkin and a sixth. What do you think of this, Corey?
Yeah, he's been pushing the sixth for Brat for a bit. I know there's been some interest there too. Um, 70-point player the last 2 years. New Jersey only looks like they're going to get better for the most part. So to give him up for a six, I think it's not a bad price for Neil. Um, I I was hesitant too because I feel like a six holds a lot of power. I didn't think Brat was enough for me to want to miss out on that opportunity or close all the doors going forward. That's my thoughts. I'm not saying he's not worth the sixth, but that's why I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But I still think it's good value for sure. You're getting a good player for that pick.
I
But
wouldn't have done that myself, just like you. Like, I don't know. Brat seems he's good, 70 points player,
yeah,
but a six, like again, I could probably get better for a sixth out there if I had one.
if you're patient, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is too, you can't be too patient because someone's going to pay it,
Someone will
right?
pay more if people get
It's true.
people pay if once dominoes start to fall, you're like, oh, I need to jump in on this now before it's gone.
Exactly.
Good on Nick accumulating assets that he'll turn around.
Oh, look at that.
Uh, Neil got a good player. So
Yeah, exactly. They're both happy, right?
the very next deal we're going to talk about, Neil's six is moved along with Braden's and a seventh, and Jonas Johansson, who he's playing well, but he's not taking Vass's job, and Vass is going to be back end of November probably. Like Saros going back Nick's way, along with a ninth, a 15th, and a 16th. The ninth and the 15th were actually his to begin with. So he's getting his picks back. What do you think of this deal?
Oh, there's a lot to unpack here. The Johansson, I figure, is just his throwaway at this point. You're paying a six, six, and seven. You better be able to fucking choose who you're throwing away.
For a
The
star
nine,
goalie?
yeah, right. You never know. Ninth, 15th, 16th, not the worst picks. The ninth, like it's not the ninth is not bad to be honest. Um, and to get Saros now, I think it's a good deal for Nick. He clear like obviously he's good with Vass and Saros as his keepers. Talbot is a third. I think it's a phenomenal goalie situation to be in. He's given up all his assets he's accumulated pick wise, which is good because it's scary when you have somebody holding on to that. You don't know what they can turn that into, right? Especially Nick. Nick's normally a competitor in this league.
I just saw what he
Um,
turned it into.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but player wise, that could go. You can get a lot of player value out of a six, six, seven, right? That's kind of my angle.
Yeah.
I don't think goalies was his general weakness, especially at picking up Talbot. But I mean, so much time to make more trades. Daltrey, though, on the other hand, I was talking to Travis about it briefly. So I think he sent me what he paid for it, and I think he paid like 2.6 and Rantanen for him.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
moved
remember
Rantanen.
last year. I was a little too cheap for Saros last year, and I didn't get him. I would have inquired for Saros, um, knowing he was movable, but I don't know why Daltrey wanted to do that move. I don't think Daltrey makes enough good trades to turn those six, six, seventh into something that will replace Saros's value. That's a massive hole in your back end. Your Seattle goalies, the tandem of them, it's not going to do enough for you. We know he made another move here, which I don't think fixed the situation. I'm not sure his angle. I know it's tempting to get a fucking paid a shit ton for your players. I've been offered some very good offers for Hart. It's just like, but then there's a giant hole to replace.
Exactly. That's the downside to it. Yeah, you can get this haul, but are you going to replace a player of that caliber and still walk away with a big enough haul to be like it was worth it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't think he did. I think he got a lot for it, but I
Yep.
don't think it was enough to make me want to move a goalie like Saros.
I'm not really complaining about the actual value in the return.
Exactly.
It
Me
just
either.
it doesn't make sense for Daltrey, in my opinion, to move a goalie of that caliber when your goaltending is not great. No, good on Nick. I really like this move for Nick.
Yeah.
This definitely solidifies him as like a top contender, right? Not that he wasn't really considered that before, but it makes him even more dangerous on the goalie stats. I just don't think. I think there should have been a little more to this deal for Daltrey to pull a trigger on this. Something has to replace Saros or give you something manageable. Johansson's not manageable. He's going to lose his job in like a few weeks. At
Even
best, he might be the
no
backup.
matter how well he plays, that's
Yeah,
gone.
they're not moving fast. Like they're not.
No.
Good on Nick for turning all his assets and a backup that he's been running into a starting goalie. Um, while I don't think the value is crazy off, you have to pay to get a starting goalie. I don't think it was the right move for Daltrey
Yeah, either do I.
in the
So
state of his team is why I say it. So, well, now let's get to another Daltrey deal. Daltrey had a busy day. Daltrey sending Giroux a sixth and an eighth over to Travis for Markstrom a 15th and a 16th. Now, there's two aspects to this I really want to emphasize here. Markstrom was like the Demko replacement in his deal, and he just shipped him out for a haul. But then you're trying to fill your Saros hole with Markstrom. What do you think of this trade?
I don't think Travis could have got more from Markstrom. As patient as he was, I think that was the like I definitely inquired. I couldn't commit to that kind of price. I did not want to. The unknown of Markstrom is an issue for me. I have him in another fantasy league, and I'm scared every day. You know, and I'm thankful I have Wolf in that league though, so there's a little bit of safety there. But
He's the future of the Flames. So
exactly right. Like, how long does Markstrom have? I'm surprised he made it to this season with how bad he played last year.
another
Because
question too is not only how long does he have, but does he get a prominent role on another team?
he's not even playing well enough too, in my opinion, especially at his cap. Like I read a lot about the Flames, obviously, and it's an expensive cap with a lot of years left on it, and he has not shown any value except for one really good year in Calgary. Other than that one year, he has been dog shit for the most part. Um, Giroux, a sixth and an eighth, is going to get your starting goalie. Could have got you another goalie that's better than Markstrom, in my opinion, most likely. Giroux is not a top tier player. He's just below. Like he can contribute, but he's not enough to really take somebody's team over the edge.
He's like a
Travis
70
this
point
way,
player though. Like
yeah, yeah,
we
but
saw
you
that
know,
go for a sixth earlier.
you can replace them though,
Yeah.
right? That's the thing. So for me, I don't think Travis was planning on using Markstrom as a long-term solution. I think that was just the best value out of Demko we could get. He knows the situation in Calgary is not great either. I think this is just amplifies what he got out of Demko. Right? Because I know he was talking about not getting a goalie back for Demko. So this is just you got a second, sixth for Demko at this point,
Yeah.
right?
I definitely like this move for Travis.
Yeah.
I definitely don't like it for Daltrey. I think this just makes his team worse. I don't know if Markstrom survives this year as a starter. Vladar's been playing pretty well. Um, I mean,
Even still, like Wolf deserves a chance. He's been the best goalie in whatever league he's played for 4 straight years. CHL,
for
CHL,
that
AHL.
for that though,
Like
they have to move one of them, right? So
I know, and he's playing so bad you can't.
yeah, you can't. He has no value.
Yeah,
Just,
he doesn't. So I don't. I think Daltrey's team just got way worse, and I don't think the pick upgrades he got between this move and the last move is enough to push his team further. Like he lost Hill, he lost Saros.
yeah. He
You
lost
could
two
have had a
starting goalies this
you could have
season.
had a really strong tandem, and you don't have a whole lot to show for it,
Yeah. He
right?
has draft capital, is what he was telling me. And it's
Yep.
true, you do. But what are you going to do with that draft capital to make your team better?
And did you need to,
Did you need
right?
to?
Stutzel, McKinnon, two Darlene, you could argue, right? Um, two goalies, Saros and Hill. Like, my opinion, just staying still would have been the best move for him compared to doing all these moves. And we haven't even got to his. It could be one of the worst trades of his day.
Um, just Dolce, it's nothing personal. This is our opinion. If
No,
you're happy with them, good
yeah,
for you. I'm happy that you're happy. It's your team. Play it how you want, GM it how you want. But I don't think you come out better, in my opinion, out of this deal. Out of the
yeah.
deals you made today, I think your team is way worse. I think since the draft, your team has just gotten way worse. I would have thought you might have been a contender this year. No, I don't think that. I think you're contending for another trophy.
Yeah, I don't think setting your lineups your issue this year. But now we go to his team though. He's sitting with 2 6. He's sitting with 4 7s and then a ninth. But then his best pick after that is a 14th.
He's got to turn that into something.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not like right now you're a worse team, but you have the assets to make it better. Will you? Hopefully.
Just who is selling?
Yeah, exactly. I like there's not a whole lot of sellers. There's a lot of trades happening. So
We'll
we'll
see.
see. I think it was expensive.
I just didn't like that much for a guy who's about to lose his job. To be honest,
I think I don't like the risk of that of him.
yeah,
And I'm a Flames fan, so
you move Saros, it's done. But you didn't have to go pick up Markstrom to replace, or not that price at least, not that price. He needed something. What he should have asked for was Talbot in the return for Saros.
he could have for sure. That would have been a much different situation. I don't think Talbot's a keeper goalie though,
No, but
um,
neither is Johansson.
or Markstrom. Like
Yeah.
maybe we don't know. Right? There's still a lot of season left, but
But Talbot is the number one guy in LA, and it would actually give you some starts for sure.
yes, he's the best goalie in LA. Calgary, I don't know if Markstrom is.
That would have been a great trade, I think, for both teams, but it didn't happen that way. So we won't
Yep.
speculate. Forgot about Dre, still active, picking up Provorov and an 11th from Travis for Campbell and a 15th. So again, Travis trying to fix his goalie situation after he blew it up, which he didn't have to. But what do you think of this one?
I mean, I agree. There's a big hole in Travis's goalies with losing Demko. He's still getting value out of him. I do like this trade a lot for Travis. I think he fixed the giant hole in his team. Edmonton's going to turn it around. He had Skinner, so now he has the tandem, right? So between the two, they don't play a lot of defense. So you're going to get your goalie starts, but
Yeah.
you're not going to get the quality starts that Demko was getting you. Now he's sitting with the Edmonton duo and Veg. He didn't have to pay much to get this. He still has a lot of assets to work with. And obviously, we know Nick didn't need him anymore. So why have a split goalie at that point, right? So I think that's good on Travis and Nick. I think he probably could have got more for him, but it's not. It's
I think
not
there's a market out there for.
exactly right. So you take what you can get at this point, and that's kind of what I felt with Gibson too. I didn't think he was. I was going to fetch insane for him, so I took what I could get.
I like that he has the duo.
Yeah,
Like I said, they're going to turn it around. They're going to win games, but they're not going to be dominant games. Like it's going to be like high scoring games. Edmonton is terrible defensively,
yeah.
and
They have
it's
to
going to
outscore.
happen.
They know it. They have
No
to
matter
outscore.
what goalie that you have put in that night, your stats are going to be bad. But that's if you're all right living like that, all the power to you. I
Yeah.
need a little stability in my crease so I can fight for those 5 stats.
Hey, you can have them, and I'll take the win.
Well, scraped out a win. Scraped out.
Yeah, it's a win's a win, but
That's it. I'm in 8th. I'm in danger. Tied with like 6 other teams, but
yeah.
I'm the one in danger. Michael Rasmussen, a 10th, an 11th, and a 13th. Going to Casey. in exchange for Hartman, a 14th, a 16th, and a 17th
The Daltrey.
to Daltrey. What do you think of this?
Hartman's been on a tear. Um, 6 goals in the year. He has 5 goals in the last 4 games, a few assists. He's normally a little bit grittier than he's been. I don't mind the pickup of Hartman as a player, to be honest, but to give that much round differentials for him, like I think you should have been reevaluating what you can do with your big picks before giving up 3 mid-range picks for a guy like that. Like is, in my opinion, replaceable to the wire.
Well, he's normally a waiver wire guy. Like he's almost always on the wire.
He
So
just hit a hot streak.
he's on a hot streak, and you gotta play the hot streak sometimes. But 3 pick upgrades is a lot to me for Hartman. He's gonna slow down. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
He'll put up the grind though. He will. He'll pick up his grind, but his offense will slow down a little bit. So
Even the grind, like he's a hit a game, 1 hit a game average last
a
season.
lot of
He's
pims though too,
less
right?
uh under 2 pims a game. So a
Oh,
pim a game almost not bad. 3 pims every 4 games. That's enough.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he's much of a fighter. But if he's putting up points, he's well rounded. But that's a lot to give up for a guy like that. 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 4 rounds. I know they're later picks, but a 10th and 11th has some value.
Daltrey, I got some guys I picked up off the wire this week. You want to give me 3 pick upgrades?
He has none left except
Give
for
me a call.
his 6 and 7s.
No, those 14, 16, 17, they'll upgrade. I think I have 3 18s.
Jeez, I don't. I would love to hear his angle. Why 3 picks? How does that even develop? 3 picks for a guy like Hartman. Like he must have just blindly offered him.
I think he blindly offered it.
But like that's just good on you. You got who you wanted for a 10th.
That's it. It's easy to judge Daltrey's team right now, but we'll see what
Yep.
his end product is, and I'm not very hopeful for it.
No.
One more deal came in just before we started recording. Miller Time still active here, picking up a Lehkonen and a 12th, trading it to Domo for Barzell and a 14th. And I quote from Travis, I will never draft him again. I fucking hate Barzell. So what do you think of this?
Barzal has a little bit more value having the right wing tag because he's been in just center for his career. So there's definitely some
Got it
value
last year too, the tag.
at the end of the year, and they've kept on to it yet. He's a almost point per game player, pretty consistently.
Mhm.
Doesn't hit, doesn't do anything else, doesn't really get PEMs. 2 round pick upgrade. I don't think it's bad for a 12th. I think that's a fair deal for Barzal.
I think the
Barzal.
players are pretty even. Like
Yeah,
I just laughed that Travis hates him so much.
and he always has them.
He was fine for me last year. I had him all year last year, and he was fine for me. Helped me win
Yeah,
the
he
championship.
shut up.
But
Could have
no,
had him for a 12th, buddy.
could have had him for 12. I drafted him, I think, instead last year. So
Oh, did you?
when you draft in the 13th round on, you pick what nuggets you can find, right?
Pick what you can get.
Very busy day though. A lot of big trades. I felt like so far this episode we did a lot of picking on Daltrey, but
I
he
mean,
made some really
3.
questionable trades today, in my opinion. Ones that he didn't have to really do.
Exactly. I agree. But that's why we all have our own team.
That's it. That's it. I would never run my team that way. But do I care if my opponents do? No. Go ahead.
Exactly.
I just need to get to the playoffs because when you get to the playoffs, any team can come out in the playoffs. So
That's what I agree, and that's why I'm fine with just going in early for my players. As
yeah.
long as I can secure that playoff spot, putting the best team I can for 24 weeks or whatever, 21 weeks. You make the playoffs, anything happens. Mark won a fucking championship. Anything can happen.
It'll never happen again, but it happened once.
We'll see, Mark. We'll see how you can revamp your team and put your own flavor on it.
I'm afraid to see what that flavor looks like. Let's talk about this week's matchups. Speaking of Mark, the 2023-2024 champions are taking on the 2022-2023 champions, Team Ramrod, the Champion. Who you got here?
Oh, gotta go with you. I'm not gonna trash talk too hard here, but um, I think you have the better team. There you go.
Yeah, I think you.
Goalies will be good. I do like his goalie situation between the Toronto tandem because I think Wool could pull off the starting spot and Samsonov could be a starter elsewhere next year. And Yari is, I mean, Pittsburgh needs to improve a bit, but he had a shutout the other night. I think he competes there.
He
It's the
plays well.
players, yeah, the players. I just don't think they're there
I
compared to
really
you.
do like Mark's goaltending
Yeah.
scenario. I really do. I think it's one of the better ones in the league, especially after the flurry that's been going on. I'm not saying it's the best one in the league.
Nope, but
Uh,
it's the top. It's near the top.
I'd say so, but just based on like the tandem that he has, and they're going to win games, they're going to play solid. But the rest of his team, like you said, I think there's a lack there, and I'm going to agree with you. I think Team Ramrod's going to take it.
You put up a fight. Wasn't easy to take down the giant, but I did.
I'll be back week 15 or no, not week 15,
15 weeks.
15 weeks. Like right near the end, right before the playoffs is when I want to break your morale. Like, did I do the right decisions all year?
Yeah, we'll see.
Now we'll see. It was a good week though. But this
Oh yeah.
week, it's not gonna be a good week for Mark.
It'd be
Another
I'd
time.
love I hope we're wrong. Because putting you on a streak of two in a row. Then you're really worried.
No, didn't I go limp into the playoffs the last couple times I won?
No, the one
Off
you were
losing
killing it.
streaks? Like,
Yeah, you had like a 4 week losing streak going into the playoffs, then you won. That was the one year you won.
doesn't matter how many I lose in a row, as long as I win more than I lose and make the playoffs. As long as I hold on to my 8th spot here, I'm good, guys.
But you know what? Sean might disagree. The regular season wins are valuable for tiebreakers.
They can be. It's
Right?
good to have.
Yep.
I don't need them.
He does.
I've never won by a tiebreaker in the
Hey,
playoffs.
my route to a championship, my first round was a tiebreaker win against
Yeah, it
Joey.
was, wasn't it? It was Joey? It
Yeah,
was, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
remember how pissed he was.
you beat your older brother by a tie.
Yeah, made him quit the league.
Yeah, pretty much, right? He was done after
Yeah.
that? Or did he play one
I
game?
he played. Yeah, he didn't really play the next year. And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm not." So he just can't handle defeat.
He broke his spirits. He'd have to see you at like family dinner and you'd be sitting there like a champion. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I'd just
beat
be
him up
wearing it. I'd
inside.
just be wearing a tie and just playing with it.
We have a Miller time taking on Forgot About Dre. Who do you got here?
I mean, time to go home, Miller time, because you're not going to come out with a win this week. I mean, you could, but I think the odds are going with Nick here, so that's my vote.
I'm going to go with Nick as well. I think Nick just has a better team, especially after the moves he made today. What really boggles my mind here is Travis is blowing up his team when he has a winning record. He's in 7th. He's above me. And he's blowing
He
up
shouldn't be
his team.
worried. He shouldn't be worried at
Shouldn't
7.
be worried. And he's giving away his best goalie in exchange for pieces, gave up Meyer in exchange for pieces. He's doing some remodeling. But I think his thing is that he can't stop tinkering, and he's going to tinker his way into playoff danger. And Nick doesn't have time to mess around with players, with GMs like that. He's going to fuck him up. That's all.
You got to jump on your chances, right?
That's it.
Lindholm has done nothing since going to him.
Nick was just circling. He's just circling Daltrey. You know, he sees Saros over there. He's like, I'm going to get that.
Yeah.
We'll fuck up the lead. He was aggressive after a lot of goalies. So eventually someone was going to bite.
It's true. It's just a matter of time, right? Because he didn't underpay.
No.
Right? So somebody's going to bite on that.
He just hunted for his target. He got it. And this week, he's going to show Travis just what his team's about, I think. I think his team's going to come out and it's going to beat down Travis.
Yep.
Beat down Travis. Not even close. I think he's going to beat you down.
All right, we're going to have to check on this.
We'll touch base next week. We'll see how that happened. If it did. Paulie the goalie, 0-3, taking on Svechny Drink, 2-1 record in fourth place. How do you do that? How do you do that?
So elite.
What do you got here?
The 0-3, like I said earlier, I think it's deceiving. I don't think Sean is that bad of a team. It's 3 weeks in, you've played a fifth of the league, so it's not a good representation. But I think Dan should be able to take this. I really like Dan's offense. He's going to get goalie starts. Hopefully, the man games of having five goalies is not too much for him to overcome up front. But yeah, I'm going to go with Dan.
I'm going with Dan as well. I want to see Sean get that golden dick.
Well, win it or take it. Like
he's gonna do both. That's how they hand it over. It's your turn to take this.
That's why Neil wanted to go get it from Braden so bad. Yeah. He had to do the work on Kyle.
Stand-in. Hughes your daddy. Taking on Pat, you're ready to rumble. Who do you got here?
I just don't think Casey's goalies will be able to help him enough. I don't mind his players. I don't think he has a very gritty team, and I think besides Truba, but I think Nick should be able to take this one. I think he has a slight advantage up front, and then a huge advantage in nets is how I see it.
Yeah, I think Nick's team is just better. I agree with you. I like Casey's team. His goaltending has potential with Levy. Just he's hurt right now. Comrie was playing all right. He's hurt.
Yeah, and then Wallstead,
who's not even.
He's never played a game. I couldn't believe that. It has to be the first time we've had a keeper who's yet to play an NHL game.
Like I think he was hoping, but like he's only gonna become like a backup like next year.
Yeah, like
when Fleury's
I was kind of surprised by that because Gustafsson is looking amazing. Like it's not like he's not like he stole the crease from Fleury.
Yeah.
Like and which is not a which is a pretty big feat. And he's a big goalie. Yeah. I got to see Toronto and Wild play and Gustafsson was in nets. He's a big boy.
They can always move Wallstead though too. Right?
Yeah, yeah, you never know. I don't see that much hype in him though.
They're saying he's one of the top goalies on the NHL, so like he's got a lot of potential. He has to have the opportunity. He has to have the path to the league right now.
Yeah, he's stuck. But Fleury's on his last year, right? So
yeah, I imagine he's on his last year. Like,
well, no, his last year of his contract.
Last year of his contract for sure.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing him go back to Pittsburgh for 1 year just to.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind either.
Yeah, just be a backup to finish your career or 50-50 split with Yari, right? Like,
yeah, we'll see. Who knows?
Daltrey taking on Lotto Max HQ. Who you got here?
2 2-1s. One's in fifth, one's in 10th. Both teams really shook up their rosters this week. I'm gonna go with Kyle. I think getting the better goalie here, Demko, getting rid of Markstrom, and then Daltrey going with getting rid of Saros and getting Markstrom. I think just Kyle got that advantage.
I think Kyle foresaw this. He's like, I'm going to poison my opponent with Markstrom. I'm going to send him over.
Yeah.
He'll end up on somehow. No, I think you're right. Kyle's going to win. I just like Kyle's team better after those Daltrey moves. I don't think Hartman's going to carry him to a victory this week. Markstrom's not going to carry him to a victory. Markstrom will be lucky if he has a job at the end of the week. But
yeah, and Daltrey's running 5 goalies right now. It's a lot of
goalies.
A lot of man games up front gone when you're running 5 goalies. You're going to get the starts.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Kyle on the other side has the Vancouver duo and then Binnington, who's done fairly well to start the year. So it's only time. So that's how I see them.
Different strategies, right? But to me, if I had a goalie like Saros, who's going to get all the starts, why do I need 4 other goalies?
Yeah, because he had the backup too, right? He was running both St. Louis and Nashville duo since the start of the year. So.
Oh, you mean that Seattle, right? Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, sorry. What did I say?
St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Seattle. You're
Like, I got part of that duo that hit St. Louis.
right.
Wild Husky Hockey taking on the Detroit Red Wings. Who do you have here?
We'd expect Derek to win this one. The better goalies, more active. He's been improving his team since the start of the year. Braden, another guy, is sitting with a guy who's not even playing in the NHL on his bench as a goalie. Can't remember who it is, but those are going to hurt you. Like they add up, right? And I don't think he can offset it
I think it's
with the
Wolf,
skill.
isn't it?
Tarasov.
No.
So he's
I
on
thought
the
I got rid of
IR.
Askarov. No, he picked him up again.
No, Tarasov. Yeah,
Oh,
he doesn't
Terra.
have.
Oh, the
Yeah,
the
Columbus.
Columbus.
Yeah. So he has MERS right now, and I think he's sitting on Tarasov. It says IR and NR. So I know he played a little bit, and they
Yeah,
have
he
the
was typically their
Vancouver.
backup last year, at least.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Well, they had Corpusalo with him as the backup, I think. Right. So
Yeah, because Mers was.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's gonna hurt you. But I like his goalies. For the most part, like Ottinger's a big goalie, but I don't think he has the skill up front to do well. And I mean, Derek has the Boston duo, right? Who always play pretty well. So
I agree with you. Derek's going to take it. It's the Braden bye week, and Derek is getting the benefit of it. So
yep.
I don't see that changing anytime soon. We're not going to see that change till the bottom guys are all fighting each other. Then we'll start seeing some wins coming, I think. Speaking of bottom teams here, Team Rocket taking on Sauce Pass. Um, Good chance that you're going to be undefeated after this week, but still, who do you got here?
I'm gonna go with myself. Not much to really say there. I'll keep it respectful. I'll win this week.
Wow, you respect Kyle. Kyle, I
Not a
don't
fantasy team though. Not a fantasy team. That's another guy with a goalie who's not playing right now, right?
Kachetkov. He played last
Yeah.
week one game,
Yeah. So
but
he's just not
Kyle didn't
assigned.
dress him.
Yeah, and his keepers up front, like he has some not bad players, but his keepers have been very disappointing to him.
They've let him
Um,
down so far this year.
yeah, I could see him going for one more retooling year before bouncing back. Because typically when he's a really strong GM, uh, when he puts his energy into it, I don't see him bouncing back right now.
He's in a big rebuild, right? And he's trying things that'll work and trying to get value out of players. And he
I
had a
just
really good draft. It's just if the guys don't play well, then it hurts. Eventually, they're going to pick it up, and who knows? He might do some damage, maybe
yeah.
sneak into a playoff spot. But I don't think that's going to be this week. I think you're going to beat him. The team's better.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and I was saying this to Travis the other day. I spent a whole year rebuilding, knowing I was going to. The second year, I tried to compete, and I just couldn't. So I was kind of forced into the rebuild, and then last year I won the regular season.
Yeah.
Right. So like sometimes it takes 2 years. I don't have the elite keepers, um, and just kind of learning and through trial and error. Right. So seeing what you're going for, and for me, I realized I wasn't going gritty enough. I was just so focused on the points.
Oh, we apparently lost Corey. So we lost Corey because his computer died. Um, Amateur hour here. He did forward me his pick for the last one. We have Suck by Ojic, Neil here taking on Captain Crunch. He says as much as he loves Domo, that he's gonna pick Neil. Didn't really actually say why. I assume it's gonna be the same points that I'm gonna say when I pick Neil, and that Neil's goaltending is just better. Neil has some pretty top tier forwards, and Domo doesn't. His team's just better. I will, even though he's not here, thank Corey for joining me again today. Um, a lot of trades. I like to see these trades come through, guys. Keep being active. Good luck to everyone this week. Thanks for watching. Except you, Mark. Fuck you, bud. Have a good week, guys.